Wow. Hi there, Facebook. Skip Bayless coming to you live from the west side of Los Angeles, about a mile from the Fox movie lot, where we'll do Undisputed tomorrow morning, as always, 9:30 to noon Eastern Time on Fox Sports 1. I'm not shocked by what I saw. For Tom Brady's sake, I'm very concerned by what I just saw. Obviously, first things first, his 10-stitch throwing hand looked pretty good. He looked like Tom Brady. I didn't see any hesitation. I didn't see any wincing. I didn't see any terribly errant passes. I thought he was pretty great. I thought his defense was, Bill Belichick's defense was pretty awful. And once again, here we go. I talked about it all week on Undisputed. There's something about Tom Coughlin's teams versus Belichick and Brady's teams. Obviously, Tom Coughlin's now sitting up in the press box as the overseer of the Jaguars, but do not underestimate how much input he's having into the coaching strategy of his new team, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do not underestimate how much Tom Brady, a student of NFL history, knows how much Tom Coughlin means to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They played, when Tom Coughlin, the Giants coach, 5 times, twice obviously. Eli Manning played games of his life, only the 2 games of his life. The only 2 games of his life. And somehow upset Tom Brady twice and barely kept him from being 7-0 in Super Bowls. And then they played 3 other times, and remember, the first time in the regular season came before the first Eli Super Bowl, and it was a moral victory for Tom Coughlin's Giants at the Meadowlands in the final regular season game. It was 38-35. That record-setting 2007 Brady-Randy Moss offense barely overcame the Giants that day, and that set up what was about to happen because the Giants went into the Super Bowl with high confidence. And then next time they played was at Foxborough, and Eli pulls off a play at the end of the game, 24-20, to pull that game out. Whew. And then here came the next Super Bowl, and Brady missed one throw of his Super Bowl life, the one that was a little high and outside to Wes Welker. He should have caught it, but he didn't. And once again, Eli prevailed, and the throw to Manningham was not lucky. That was just a big-time, right down the chimney throw. And then finally, the last time they played was at the Meadowlands, and it took Tom Brady converting 4th and 10 from his own 20 late in that game to Danny Amendola to set up a 54-yard walk-off field goal that barely helped New England survive in that game. My point is, Tom Coughlin's got Tom Brady's number, and I'm sure when the accident occurred when he was trying to hand off in Wednesday practice to I assume it was Burkhead, that was the report, got his hands caught, freakish accident, cut, 10 stitches in his throwing hand. I'm sure one of the first things Tom Brady thought about is, Tom Coughlin's doing it to me again. He's kryptonite. He's a nemesis. He haunts Tom Brady. And his team came out today, and I got to tell you, Jacksonville did dominate the first half. And if they hadn't gotten the motion penalty, the delay of game penalty, they could have scored again. Obviously, Tom Brady's late rally got them back into the game at 14-10. But on that drive, a Dallas Cowboy, can you believe it? A Dallas Cowboy, or at least a former Dallas Cowboy, had some impact in the postseason. Barry Church, I went to church. Barry Church might have made the play of the game for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He went helmet to helmet with Gronkowski. Did he knock him out of the game? We're about to find out as he goes through concussion protocol. But I'm going to remind you, Tom Brady, without Rob Gronkowski for the last 8 games last year, without Rob Gronkowski in the Super Bowl, came back from 28-3 down and caught and passed the Atlanta Falcons, throwing mostly to James White. And I almost tweeted with 2 minutes left in the game, where's James White? It's all Dion Lewis, some Burkhead who's been out with a knee injury. And I think we're going to see a whole lot more of James White in the second half. And I got to tell you, the one hope I have for Tom Brady is that, again, he threw the ball very well, except they were 0 for 5 on 3rd down. But the one hope I have for him, I kind of like their diversity on offense. They spread the ball better on offense. They're a little harder to defend on offense when he doesn't try to force the ball to Gronkowski. Gronk had one drop. I know it was a tough catch up the sideline, but it was a great throw from Brady. But it's force to 87, force it to 87. They use some Jalen Ramsey on him. They use some Miles Jack on him. They use some double coverage with the safety on him. But everything's Gronk conscious. And again, I'm not saying I love their chances without Gronk, but I don't mind their chances without Gronk because maybe you get James White involved with a few more swing passes and short passes. Maybe you get Amendola a little bit more involved. And how good was that third down or fourth down throw to Amendola? My God, the little lead pass on the wheel route to Amendola. My God, it was a great throw, touch throw, and not an easy throw. And that set up a field goal. And the stand that Jacksonville made with the ball 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line is the game right now. But it's going to be tough. I thought it was going to be 17-14 lower scoring, but here we go. Blake Bortles looked like Eli Manning under Tom Coughlin. Blake Bortles just went 13 of 15 for 155 yards. How many times on Undisputed over the last 2 weeks have you heard me say to Greg Jennings, to Shannon Sharp, what is all this talk that they're indicating he's a liability or even going to the T word, trash word? Trash? Blake Bortles? I mean, he had a pretty good year. 21 touchdowns to 13 interceptions. And had a QBR scale of 0 to 100 of 56 for the whole year. It's above average. It's okay. He's not a liability. And he became somehow a punchline that I don't understand. Other players were calling him trash. I don't get it because it actually took all the pressure off him. He's got weapons everywhere. He's only got the number 1 run game in the NFL against the number 20 rush defense in the Patriots in the NFL. And again, I've hung in and hung on with this Patriot team that I picked before the year started to win it all, mostly because of number 12. But it bends, but it hasn't been breaking as it rose up the ladder to number 5 in scoring defense. But again, there's nothing good about it statistically other than that. Nothing good. It doesn't take the ball away. It's bad on third down. It's just good in the red zone, or it was, and it's good on the scoreboard, or was. And today, it wasn't good in the red zone, and it's not being great on the scoreboard, even though 14-10, you're hanging in with it. You got Brady back in the game. You got him hot. You got him steamed up. You saw a little bit of Psycho Tom start to come out. And again, this is going to be a battle. It's going to be higher scoring than I thought, only because I just don't think the Patriots can stop the Jaguars' offense. I knew, again, Paul Hackett's a long time, way back in the past, friend of mine. His son Nathaniel, I knew when he was like 4 or 5 years of age, and now he's calling the plays, and he does a nice job. And where did Corey Grant come from? I didn't hear his name all week because obviously I heard Leonard Fournette. Obviously I heard T.J. Yeldon, who's just a terror on third down, and all of a sudden Corey Grant, undrafted out of Auburn, catches 2 swing passes that just gashed the heart right out of the Patriots and led to a lot of Blake Bortles' 155 yards came on those 2 just little swing passes. But he made 3 or 4 other throws on third down. They were 4 out of 6 on third down that were just Brady-esque, Eli-esque in the Super Bowl. So the Jaguars are playing with high confidence. It's going to take every last ounce of Tom Brady's greatness. I don't care if he's 40 or 20 or 12 or just age is irrelevant. He's just still Tom Brady, every bit of Tom Brady, and he's going to get tested and challenged like never before. It scared me that Jacksonville can run the ball and New England couldn't run it at all. Little Dion Lewis was going nowhere fast. And Jacksonville got 60 yards rushing. So it's going to be scary because time of possession is going to start to loom large. If they go on 2 or 3, 4 more long drives, say 3 more long drives, it's just going to be hard for Tom Brady to have the football enough to outscore Blake Bortles and Leonard Fournette and Corey Grant and Mercedes Lewis. They're pretty good. They're highly underrated on offense. And then there's the key of can Can the Patriots continue to protect Tom Brady some? I think they can. I know they got to him a couple times. Dexter Fowler was flying off the edge. But, again, the one hope that I take from the game last week at Pittsburgh was Jacksonville was had 21-0, and yet teeing off on Ben Roethlisberger, they really couldn't generate that much rush on him. They didn't bother him that much, and obviously he wound up hanging 42 on them. So maybe the Patriots can continue to protect just enough for Tom Brady to have enough time to spread the ball. I'm looking for Chris Hogan to make a couple of big plays, Amendola a couple of big plays. I couldn't believe it. Kenny Britt, I thought he was going to give Tom just one big fast receiver, inactive today. He couldn't hack it, couldn't figure out the offense fast enough. So now it comes down to, can the Patriots start to get any pressure on Blake Bortles? Because they really didn't get much, and he's got the benefit of play action, and Tom doesn't have as much benefit of play action. Remember, about 25-ish% of the time, it'd actually be about 27% of the time, Brady could go under center and have some play action where you could get something going with Burkhead or lately with Deion Lewis on the run game, and then play action fake to him and get something to whoever, Gronkowski. You've lost a lot of that. He was under a couple times, but I think it's pretty dangerous to put the 10-stitch hand under center, so I think we're going to see mostly shotgun in the second half. So the Jags know what's coming. Can they get to Brady? Can the defense get the ball back for Tom Brady? Again, I thought it was going to be lower scoring. I said 17-14. Brady, it doesn't, I mean, it's still possible that would set up, but I would severely doubt that would happen given what I saw in the first half. So I'm not shocked. I'm not going to give up. They got a chance, but this is going to be Tom Brady's greatest challenge in the second half. I will be right back on Facebook right after the game. And by the way, Tony Romo's starting to get under my skin and irritate me a little bit, but I'll save that for after the game. I'll see you then, Facebook. Hang in.